he had to be a transitional, right?
Yeah,
Like there's no
unfortunately.
sustainable reign for him.
Not on Raw, unfortunately. So we did go live on mine. What's good, y'all?
We
Uh,
back.
we back. We had an issue with the West Coast Graps account, so for for one day only, I guess we back on Suge Wrestling for West Coast Graps 2024. Dang, 24. Dang.
Wait, this is
Number
West Coast Graps 24 in 2025.
Yeah. Ooh-wee.
Who we?
It's been a long week. Y'all start me out.
It's bro. I just got done with 50 hours in 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then I got another 50 hours in 4 days starting tomorrow. So,
That's a good check. I'm not gonna lie to you.
oh, dude, it's gonna be fat as fuck.
Oh, huge.
That's like 2 3 days full overtime pay.
It's like I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna leave that one.
We just gonna put a pin in that one.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that one
Just
for the
what
private.
what what should we put a pin into to start? Should we talk the Uso reign since we kind of started with that, or hi Rainy?
Yeah, let's start with that. Jay Uso lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Gunther. Gunther? Yeah, Gunther. After a
Yeah,
51-day reign.
51.
In the
Comparing all of the most recent title runs, like including like mid card and shit, that's one of the shortest runs we've had in like the last year and a half.
the only one shorter is his Intercontinental Championship reign, actually. I think that was
How,
like
how long did Chelsea Green hold the women's U.S. title?
mm, for a pretty long time, I want to say.
Because this is one of the shortest reigns of this era, without a shadow of a doubt. 51 days. That's not even 2 full months.
Besides Drew McIntyre's.
But I feel like that doesn't count because Damian Priest went on to hold the title for a long time.
It doesn't count, but it counts. So
Like,
actually,
because his victory was to set up the cash in.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying for just for looking at the brief history of the belt, it's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins held it for a while. And to answer your question, Chelsea Green held that belt for 132 days.
Damn.
Yeah, so she did held it for a long time because you got to think she had a whole stable built around her, and that takes some time.
You would think it takes some time. Do you remember the Beatdown Clan?
I do remember the Beatdown Clan.
They threw 6 people into that group, and only 4 of them ended up doing something with it.
Yeah, that was dark times in TNA.
Dark times indeed. Remember Global Force? Let's move on.
mm. Wasn't Chris Masters a champion in Global Force?
Good God. I think it's his only world title win.
Wow. Nothing against Chris Masters. I hear the Master Lock Challenge is still going strong. I saw somebody taking it either on TikTok or Twitter.
That dude still is built like a fucking mountain. I would
Yeah.
never.
Yeah, nah, I don't. There's who broke it? Bobby Lashley?
Bobby Lashley and Santino Marella.
And Santino is crazy.
And Santino Marella, I think, was dead whenever he broke out of it.
What do you do? Tickle him to death?
No, Bobby Lashley.
No. Oh, right. I remember that. Okay. Yeah. That, Santino
What
Marella has an interesting the most interesting WWE career.
dude?
I
I'd argue to say he's maybe got one of the wildest careers in professional wrestling. Like a
he's
sustained decade with WWE, slapped in the face by Jim Cornette for laughing at Boogeyman's entrance, and still got a career out of that. And literally in like the last 6 months, he has gone from little to no relevance for a few years to being back on TNA and doing a program with his own.
history making in a TNA.
Yeah, I believe first father daughter duo to ever tag team, right?
I believe so. There's definitely a few father sons, but
Yeah, there's been
not a
father
whole,
sons.
not a whole lot of father daughters.
But yeah, back to this Jey Uso thing. We knew he wasn't going to hold it long.
Yeah, but my biggest beef with the whole Jey Uso title reign was 80% of the matches he was involved with since WrestleMania had screwy finishes.
Yeah,
And that you don't make
eighty
the
percent being generous,
very generous. And it just you call him a main event, but you don't trust him in the main event.
unless you've got someone like a Cody or a Cena there.
Like you had to have Paul Heyman pull him into the main event because it felt like everything was moving on without him, with Seth Rollins forming his own faction. It was like
And
coming out of WrestleMania. So whatever Seth Rollins is doing is bigger than the fact that Jey Uso beat Gunther.
mm, arguably, like night one of WrestleMania, people were talking about Cody beat or not Cody, Jay beating Gunther. But a whole hell of a lot more people were waiting on Monday to see what Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman were going to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. I was everything they were waiting on.
And I've not been disappointed by the whole Seth Rollins story. Adding Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed as his heavies. I did not expect that at all, but I am loving it.
So we talked about this in the group chat. WWE has been
Hmm?
it looks like WWE has been using the my story storyline from 2K23 as a template for booking right now. We got partners in Japan, we got partners in Mexico. We have, I believe, the same faction that was in the group of um, Santos Escobar, Berto, and Garza the same are like the same faction that's going into AAA right now. Like, I don't remember what the Spanish promotion was called in WWE 2K23 off the top of my head, but it was in. I think it was either 2K23 or 24.
See, I haven't played none of those My Rises in a while, but this is so much more than just a recent thing.
It
Let's take this shit back a decade plus. WWE has been using the 2K games or, their wrestling games to kind of foreshadow shit that they're going to do, kind of to test the waters in a way, to see if the audience will like it. Kevin Nash's return, I believe in 2013, was foreshadowed by WWE 12. And same thing with Brock Lesnar's return. Brock Lesnar got back on a WWE 2K game before he signed a contract with the WWE itself.
that's
And
crazy.
if I'm not mistaken, Brock Lesnar's return in that game is attacking you after you win a match. Brock
Okay.
Lesnar returned and beat the shit out of John Cena. So, like, the WWE games have been using this for a while. I mean, I know with the Kevin Nash storyline, we had a WCW revival. That never came to pass, and I know a bunch of people that were pissed off that that never happened. But like these games, they have used for storytelling purposes to see if an audience will like it or not. And it's weird, but I fuck with it.
And like, so weirder still, Braun Breaker was in the main event faction with Randy Orton. I mean, it was because it was they were either rebooting the Hurt Business or Evolution.
Mm,
Like whatever stable you leave, I think Braun Breaker is a replacement.
okay.
Right. Or I think he's a replacement on the no, because they don't need a replacement in the Hurt Business. I think he's your replacement in any stable you're in.
Okay.
And
But
so like
yeah, yo, go ahead.
depending on what stable you were in, depends on who you can call for help. Like you can only call Bobby Lashley to help you out if you're feuding with the Hurt Business.
Okay. You can only call Lashley out if you're feuding with them?
Yeah, because he's not in the Hurt Business reboot. The Hurt Business reboot was built around you in the game.
Okay, okay.
So it's you, MVP, and a creator wrestler.
Like whatever partner that the game made or something.
No, they actually turned the partner into the WWE champion. Like, so they have outside now they have like indie wrestlers that are inserted into the game.
Okay.
Like they have a luchador that's oddly reminiscent of El Generico in there.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah. And so they have people that you can kind of see to influence from like Heath Slater and Three Man Band is like a extra. It's pretty cool. So like I think his name was like Andrew Slade, and then he wins the WWE Championship and he drops Andrew and he's just Slade. And so
Okay.
you see his little come up. He gets new gear and stuff, and then ultimately they feel like it's best for him to um, get like the finger poke of doom from Randy Orton to win the championship. And so,
Okay.
like the ultimate end goal of the game is you versus Randy Orton. I think it's at whatever WrestleMania is created for that game.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a WWE 2K game since me and Devin lived together.
To be honest, this was my first one back because I heard it had gone back to the old playstyle.
This most recent one with Roman on the cover.
No, a few of them back. I think like
Okay.
in when they got to like the 18s. I think it was in
Okay. See, I remember
18.
two. I remember 2K18 very fondly.
Yeah, I think that's when they went back to like the traditional '07 SmackDown versus Raw control style. But yeah, Jay Uso. I wish they would have did something better with Jay Uso. They could have kept the current bloodline a little more relevant than the U.S. title if Solo won Money in the Bank, or they just moved they just switched brands because CM Punk is on Raw and he's now feuding with
Mr.
John
Cena.
Cena on SmackDown.
Oh, so they're doing that
And
shit on SmackDown?
I don't know. And then Cody Rhodes is all over the place. Like, what is the roster right now?
Well, they decided to look at the roster split so often, and they just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Because like I was expecting a big, like solid roster split once they got the Netflix deal, and that's what it seemed like we were headed towards.
But I think Netflix, for what they paid, they want whoever's hot right now.
Mm,
Because quite a few of the John Cena's dates leading up to WrestleMania were on Raw.
So, what do we see for Jey Uso now that he's dropped the belt? Because I'm not gonna lie, Gunther having the belt is the right move. Gunther is probably the best person to maybe turn tweener face to have be going against Seth's faction, if that's what we're going to be having. And potentially, I have heard on the rumor mill, maybe Ilya versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
Oh, you think Ilya is the mystery person in the King of the Ring, and he's gonna go all the way?
Maybe. Maybe.
Ooh, give me Ilya versus Sammy in the finals because they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
Oh, dude, that would. Dude, you have any idea how intense of a match that would be? You've got Sammy, who will never say die, and then you've got Ilya, who's just going to beat the fucking hell out of him.
Yeah, no, I need that. Give me that in Saudi Arabia though.
See, that's what. In the group chat, I was like, I see Sammy going all the way, maybe with the heel turn to win this. And, it'd be Sammy versus Cody in the finals.
Okay.
But
Ooh.
I remembered, yeah, think about it. Heel Sammy, face Cody, winner faces Cena at, pay per view. I liked that idea until I remembered that, of course, King and Queen of the Ring has to be in fucking Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so do you have Sammy lose over there?
I don't have Sammy going over there because I don't think Sammy's still doing Saudi, is he?
Sammy has been to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then,
Yeah, no, he went and they like
that's right. He got a massive pop. I completely
yeah,
forgot.
he basically got two hometown pops in the same year because that's right
Because that was the
before.
Roman Reigns run right before
Yeah.
Backlash, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now you're jogging my mind. Now you're
Yeah,
jogging my
no.
mind.
They were going off for
So,
Sammy over there.
uh, but then can you have Sammy be heel in Saudi Arabia versus Cody?
That's why I'm saying I think
But you
it's
could do it versus Ilya and have Ilya just be the aggressive, violent, not necessarily a heel because I think the Saudi Arabian crowd would get behind him too, but not
yeah.
as much as Sammy.
Yeah. So I think the match is for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think they're gonna keep this person far away from whatever Cena's doing.
Mhm.
The way you bill it as you have the two out of the three people that have beaten Gunther clean in WWE having a match to see who can beat Gunther next.
Like that's just good storytelling.
Yeah, it's really all. It's been three men who've been able to do it: Jey Uso,
And
Ilya
Gunther
Dragunov,
just beat him.
and Sami Zayn. So if this is just a story of Gunther responding to his enemies as they do in AEW, I'll take it.
Imagine that. I need somebody, if anybody out there is listening, I need that graphic. Gunther responds to his enemies.
I can do that. It might take me a few weeks, but I can get that done. Oh,
But
I'm so damn busy.
I I love Gunther being the champion again. He's not gonna hold the belt for as long as he did last time. So we don't have to worry about a long, boring run. However, we kind of know where the collision course is headed.
To be honest, I feel like this was a hiccup. I didn't think his reign was boring. It was honestly just getting good before somebody
Oh yeah,
else outshined him because Gunther doesn't really have charisma. Um,
he started showing it in the run with Jay.
a tad bit, like a little bit. Um,
A lickle.
Yeah, it's a little patois for you. Um, he has a tad bit, but his like he said after he won the belt, wasn't nobody there to congratulate him in the back. That's because he's just a fighter. This is a business for him. He's like um not who's the other one? The Nugget. My
The
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 Nugget,
Nugget.
the big Nugget that does not like NBA press. He just wants to get back to Serbia, I think it is,
Oh,
so he can ride his
Jokic.
horses. Yeah, he's
Nikola
he's
Jokic.
he Jokic. He does not care. He's not here for camaraderie. He said he has his friends. He's just trying to make money, win championships, and beat
And then
people
go
up.
run his horses. And go run his
Yeah,
horses.
he smokes his cigars on a bench out like outside overlooking the water. Like he want to live
This
his
man
life.
is a this man is a father now, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't Jimmy just have her baby?
I believe so. Yeah, he's
So
dead
yeah,
now. He's
this man is a dad now. He don't give no fucks about you.
no, he don't care about you buying no t-shirt.
He is clocking in. He's making that bread, and if he's got to break someone's back, he's gonna do it.
But yeah, I didn't expect it to end like that, but I had that feeling when I saw Jay Uso come out with his son. I was like, yeah, this it. This
So,
this got to be the one.
was it a good match at least, or was it like every other Gunther J
It
match we've had?
it was the best match they've ever had.
Okay, that's good at least, but that's not
Yeah.
saying a lot considering the other matches were the same.
No, it was literally the best match they had ever had. They were just now cooking. I would have loved for them to extend it a little while longer. You know, some people are upset that the title change happened on Raw. I like it. You know, it gives you a reason to watch TV.
Oh yeah, it
And
it it sticks it to people like me that don't watch weekly product.
and they told a great story leading up to it. Even Gunther said last week, "Hey, um, you're wearing yourself thin, and I ain't doing nothing."
Yeah, how many matches has Gunther had since he dropped the title at Mania, and who has he wrestled?
He had the McAfee program.
And don't I'm not putting anything on against Pat McAfee. That was a good match. That was probably my favorite match from that pay per view. Uh, Pat
Yeah,
McAfee
no
always
shade,
impresses in the ring.
no shade to Pat McAfee, but he didn't he gave us a great match, but it wasn't Omega Okada at the Tokyo Dome. You feel me?
No, and he definitely didn't, push Gunther to the damn limit. Michael Cole had to try to give him the old Bobby Heenan leg pull and everything to almost. I thought McAfee had the match at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
But then I remembered Michael Cole probably don't weigh that much, and Gunther probably could throw him with his leg.
absolutely. So let's get to. It's a lot going on right now. I don't know.
Do you want to hop back to the weekend? Do you want to jump in our time machine?
We can't, but there's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about AAA.
We'll talk about AAA. Doesn't even want to talk about Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank was quick. Like we don't have to spend too much time on Money in the Bank, but a lot
No.
happened on this AAA show.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. There's a lot of new fans for Lucha Libre, and I fucking love it.
Me too, because like I didn't realize until this weekend. A lot of things led me to Libre by default. You know,
Libre by default.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's my favorite style of wrestling. That's why when people complain about our flippy stuff, I love it.
Hey, my wife, it's her favorite style of wrestling too, man. It's athletic, it's energetic. You see people do shit that human beings should not be able to do. Lucha Libre is such a fun fucking style of wrestling. and it still implements like hints of hard style in there as well.
Oh yeah, they have everything. They have hard style. They have chain wrestling as well. Hechicero, another one who's really great at it, but you don't remember him necessarily for that, is Angelico.
No, and Helico was always a great chain wrestler. If you go back and watch his Lucha Underground shit, man's can work. He's
Yeah,
so
but
much more than just jumping off the balcony.
no, for real. That's all. That's mostly what we remember him for. That's his big spot, is jumping off of Dario Cuetro's office. But he's so much more than that. But AAA, things I want to point out. I love how Corey Graves said he wasn't getting enough feet, he wasn't getting enough touches, and he basically had to call the whole show by himself.
Oh, dude.
Conan was
So, oh, you're dropping fast. Conan sounded like he was drunk for half the show.
he was just there for um cultural references, basically.
Yeah, like the, there was a part where Corey Graves knew uh, Vikingo's rune, the move, the rune,
Yeah, the stretch,
and
the abdominal
and
stretch.
Conan's like, I didn't expect you to know that, and Graves is like, I did my research, and Conan, I shit you not, goes, you're a smart kid, you're sharp, you guys just need better writing. Like I heard him mumble that over the fucking over commentary, and I'm like, oh my god, Conan's trying to ruin this deal in the first night.
Oh man, that was Conan was a hilarious part of this show. I'll put it to you like that. I
And I
believe
love
he's
Conan. I love Conan. His takes on wrestling aren't always there. He gives Disco Inferno way too much time to talk, but man, I love Conan.
the energy was there though. The He definitely when he did say things, but it was if you're gonna watch the show, if you don't like Corey Graves, it's him talking. Uh
But I like
Most of the
Corey.
show.
I like
I love
Corey's
Corey.
commentary.
I'm just saying some people have their favorites, some people don't.
Hmm.
There was a rumor that
But
Mike Tenay was gonna be there.
bro, if I get a Mike Tenay on any form of WWE TV, I might cry a little bit.
A tad.
Love Mike Tenay. Love Don West. Those boys were voices of our generation.
Oh yeah. Them calls, man. The one that comes to mind immediately. I think this was right after Don West left the commentary team, and Taz was there. Is um who is it? I think it was Christopher Daniels taking that. I think he flopped. I don't want to say flopped. I want to say the wrong thing because uh, people can be so. I don't want to fight anybody because y'all be so hurt sometimes. But it was an Ultimate X in Anaheim when TNA had their show out here, and I don't know what happened, but he landed on his neck
Oh, it
from
was the was it like the botched AJ kind of like where he was trying to do what AJ did?
no, the Ultimate X. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
where he swung off and tried to like had to rotate so he didn't land on his head and shit.
Yeah, that
I
call.
remember the one you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That call.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was Mike Tenay and Taz. But that would have been dope. Lillian
See, Mike,
Garcia
I
announced.
think Mike Tenay and Graves would be a great duo.
Ooh, that'd be dope. I would love to see them do the any AAA shows in English. Well, let's get to the actual card. The interesting things I found out. Les, excuse not Leslie. Lillian Garcia did this entire pay per view
See, I
in
thought that
Spanish.
I didn't know that it was Lillian Garcia until I heard like some of the like names, like how she pronounced some names, and I was like, "Is that Lily?" Because I tuned in a little late. I didn't see the whole intro to the show. I didn't see.
Okay.
Didn't they get the girl that's on the Kendrick album to
Yeah, they
do
did.
the Spanish anthem?
They did. That was dope. I knew it immediately. Um I wasn't sure what she looked like, but as soon as she opened her mouth, I knew.
And then yeah, Lillian did the American national anthem, and then yeah, Lillian did the entire fucking show. I thought they had one of AAA ring announcers doing it.
No, but let's see. We started this whole thing with Aerostar, Mr. Iguana, and Octagon Jr. versus Lince Dorado. Shout out to Lince, by the way. Cruz del Toro and Dragon Lee.
It is so good to see Lince Dorado in a WWE ring again. Can I just say
Yeah,
that?
because he's been like, you know how people say Triple H is watching his stuff when you're
Mhm.
outside. Like AJ Francis said a couple of times, that's the reason they get Brock back to continue to work with the company because they're still interested in what they're doing and they're still interested in working with them. And I
Just
100
because the bookers don't have nothing for you doesn't mean that eyes ain't on you.
and like even now, it seems like there's going to be something for um top not top like first class to do in WWE for a little while, and then whenever he's done, AJ Francis is going to continue to go kill it on the Indies and kill it in
Which
TNA.
definitely works for him.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
still.
so, what did you think of Mr. Iguana, the the internet megastar after Saturday night?
I love me some Mr. Iguana. Um, he got over in the very few moves he had because if you watch the match, he wasn't moving um, as fast as uh, his other two teammates.
Mm,
But that headbutt won me over real nice.
dude, he's got a very nice headbutt.
I
He's
love
got a
that.
very bald head, though.
Oh yeah, and the standing Spanish fly from Lince Dorado to was it
La
La
Yesca.
Yesca?
La Yesca.
I love the Iguana play dead spot.
this this match, I know it's not for a whole lot of people. Like if you're a wrestling diehard, there's some shit in this match that will piss you off. But that's not what this match wasn't for you. This match
But
was
as a
to get
lucha
people
fan,
in. Oh yeah,
it was for me.
this six man, and it goes for every match on the card. Every match on this card was fun. It was energetic. The AAA people got their shit in, and they were able to shine. This
Mind you,
is. Oh, go ahead.
this is in from the research I've been doing. Um, even from our homie Mike, shout out to Sock Monkey Mike, he was saying he might just go to Worlds Collide. I do think he went to Money in the Bank. I'm not sure, but he was like, I know he went to Worlds Collide because it was cheaper than Money in the Bank, and that could be because the Kia Forum isn't as fancy as the Intuit Dome.
Oh yeah, Intuit Dome's like Allegiant Stadium, isn't it?
It's as nice as, but it's not as big. Like it's
Okay.
as modern as SoFi, a little bit more modern than SoFi.
But it ain't as
But
big.
yeah, it ain't as big. And so yeah, this match was dope. Octagon's finish is crazy.
Bro, I mean, I know Bandito does it, but you look at Octagon Junior's size. That should not be that boy's finish, but he pulls it off every time.
Yeah. He even has like a flipping version of it, I want to say. Like he's doing the safe version of it. I've seen him sit down on the top ropes to hit that rotation.
That's insane, dude. Octagon Junior impressed so much that he got a spot on the Money in the Bank card impromptu. This is something that Suge predicted ahead of time, by the way, people.
I did. I said I tweeted like a week before the Intercontinental Championship should be defended in AAA. 100%. The North American Championship should be defended in AAA, and indeed it was. So
Yeah, we had both. I forgot we had both of those, not necessarily defended in AAA, but the Intercontinental title was on the line against a AAA contracted wrestler on a WWE major pay per view, one that
so
they
I
push
want
as a
to.
big five.
One thing we haven't considered is Octagon Junior is already signed to TNA.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because I know I saw Laredo Kid. We'll get to that match later on. Laredo Kid was also on this show, and I know he's contracted to TNA still.
So one thing I will say that Conan did add to commentary is he was saying that um, people are still vying for spots with TKO. I don't know how true that is. Conan is involved with creative. I know it's him, Jeremy Borash, and somebody else.
He's also like the number one talent guy for AAA, isn't he?
I believe so, but that makes a lot of sense because I've been sharing the what I've been able to find for the AAA announcements for Triple Mania this weekend. Even though Triple Mania is weird, I guess it happens like
A couple
throughout
times a year.
yeah 3 to 4 times a year because there was just a Triple Mania where Vikingo won on May 31st.
Was that a Triple Mania?
That was a Triple Mania.
Yeah, and this upcoming one's a Triple Mania, right?
They have different names. Like this is Triple Mania Regina or Regia, excuse me. So the rematch of Vikingo and El Patron is happening, as well as
Speaking
go ahead.
Speaking of Mr. Patron, did you see or did you notice that during the Gable and Vikingo promo package, they edit the fuck out of
Yeah,
that match and they only show his gear?
they only showed his backside. Yeah, they did not show his face or his gear. I did
So,
notice that.
my friends, I think we're in the clear. I don't know if Mr. Patron will ever be back in the WWE.
But they may be using different people for the Mexico shows versus the U.S. shows, and
Yeah,
like that, they might be keeping him around while everything is fully integrated.
maybe. Because he does have
But
that, what, 8 years with the company?
yeah, to be honest with you, to do this right, it does take time. But what I will say, for the people that are saying that this is a move copying AEW because they're working with CMLL, the introduction of AAA to the American audience was handled a lot better than the introduction of CMLL to the American audience by AEW. I learned more about CMLL through WWE acquiring AAA and learning that AAA came out of CMLL because it was more traditional. Then I learned from watching um, AEW and its presentation of the stars from CMLL. Like
Mm.
sometimes you need to, especially if it's a new style of wrestling that the audience isn't used to, and it could just speak to the difference in audiences between the two companies. But sometimes you got to hold your hand a little bit, the audience's hand a little bit, if you want the audience to gravitate towards the product.
And with where the show was, like, you wouldn't be remiss if this was in some gymnasium in Mexico because the audience was fully behind it, was fully behind the AAA guys. And like, this audience truly appreciated what they were seeing.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is why I defend my city every time somebody say LA's a bad crowd. LA's a
no,
bad crowd.
every single time they are in your area, you guys always show out. And like, LA is a wrestling city. Southern California as a whole is a fucking wrestling area.
Don't play us.
Colorado, not a wrestling area. Although I will say, Mission Ballroom looked pretty good
Oh yeah,
as a
but
wrestling venue.
that was a size appropriate thing. I love to see that. But
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
the right
the
and,
first
and
the
I,
first match. Oh, go ahead.
and I want to. I was just pointing to the end of the first match. Notice the one person that really that's affiliated with WWE, but not necessarily with WWE like that, took the pin.
Yeah, it it was a very fun match. Like, from the first match, they had the crowd in, and they had, a bunch of people watching on YouTube invested in what we were about to watch.
And let me say this: that YouTube chat was annoying.
See, I don't ever deal with the YouTube chat, so
Oh, you can turn that off when you pay for it.
wait, you can't turn it off if you don't pay for it?
I don't think so,
Oh,
but it was full of our truth. We want truth. We want truth. But more on that later. The second match was Stephanie Vaquera and Lola Vice versus Delise and Chica Tormenta.
okay.
Um,
Before we move on, I didn't watch Raw. How did Nikki Bella say her name?
Stephanie Vaque. Hey, shout out to Nikki Bella, dog, working to pay that child support. Shout out to Nikki Bella. You know, the second she found out she had to pay that man 6 figures in 2 payments, she said, "Let me hit up WWE because Evolve
let me
Two's
get
coming.
half this right now.
Yeah, let me hit the ring so I could be relevant in reality again. Maybe hit the podcast. I see it. I knew it as soon as I heard she had to pay child support. I said that in ring return coming. She finna hit that mat.
God, Vakwe.
Fakwe. But it
See,
was
but
interesting.
this. Oh, go ahead.
It was interesting to learn about the culture of the AAA shows. Um, Apparently, Dalis is Stephanie Vaquer, I almost said Vaquer, Vaquer's madrina, and that was the very first person she had her match with. So it's
Yeah,
interesting to see how wrestling comes full circle like this.
it really is, and it's probably such a cool moment for those two for this match to happen at Worlds Collide.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I know Conan put over one of the girls from AAA. I think it was Dalis. Was trained by her husband as well.
Yeah, by Negro Casas
Yeah, you got it right.
Junior. I pay attention.
But even this match, like this, and for Lola Vice, who's never really worked a lucha libre style in her life, she adapted to this match very well. This was a very fun, very good match.
She even did a little senton. She even hit her little senton. I was like, okay. And then the double devil's kiss. I know Booker T was somewhere crying.
Bro, that audience was there
Booker
for
T
him in
missed.
spirit.
He missed it twice on Saturday. I know he was somewhere sick.
He's like, no, dude, he was not sick. He was at home. The neighbors across the street hearing him go, ah, ah, ah.
He probably don't. He don't do it at home. I guarantee you, he don't do it at home. He like living. Let's not forget, he's married to a black woman, and she said, that's only for work. He don't do that at home. You better listen to that man's wife. He don't act up like
Oh,
that at
dude.
home.
This was a fun match, and as expected, it was WWE's first point as Conan was keeping track
Oh, he was.
of wins and losses of this show. WWE got their first win with what does she call it? The SVB?
SVB. Yeah, I haven't seen somebody use a backbreaker as a finisher in a very long time. Very Roderick Strong esque. I can dig it.
Oh, dude, we love backbreakers here. And then a nice little promo from both of the girls afterwards.
Oh
And
yeah.
Stephanie Vaquer saying she's going to win the women's Money in the Bank. More on that later.
More on that later. We had Legado del Fantasma coming up with the win against Pagano Psycho Clown and El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. So this is Dr. Wagner 3.
Yeah, because we saw Dr. Wagner Jr. in Lucha Underground, right?
Yeah.
Good God, we've been watching wrestling for too long, Suge.
We have, and the original Wagner is still wrestling. Or Dr. Wagner Jr. is still wrestling.
Good Lord, man. But again, another really fun match with the AAA guys being more bases for the very high flying WWE guys.
Which is interesting to consider. And who took the pin is incredibly interesting. It was Dr. Wagner Jr., the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., Wagner 3. I'm gonna call him Wagner 3.
If I'm not mistaken, the most beautiful mask in Mexico.
Yes.
And
That was crazy to me.
I do want to point out every single one of these matches had a promo package before. Normally I bitch about it, but a show like this needs promo packages to kind of introduce to the crowd who you're about to see. Yeah, it's nice to be surprised by what you're going to get with someone, but being able to see a little bit of what their repertoire is, what they're known for in Mexico, it's really good for a new audience, and I believe it was what helped bring a lot of the audience in for the live crowd as well.
No, we need that. Yeah. Then after
This
that,
this deal with Mexico might be really good. It's going to be a lot
oh,
better than the TNA deal.
oh, for sure. Um, this is. I mean, it's going to be a better TNA deal because technically, Octagon
TNA's
Jr. and
involved too.
Laredo Kid, yeah, because we'll talk about it a little bit later. Um, Quite a few TNA stars are involved in the next Triple Mania, but as far as the North American Championship, which again should be defended in Mexico, and it should be defended in a Canadian promotion
Let it show up in MLP, bro. Let that fucking title show up in Maple Leaf, bro.
with Ethan Page. Can you imagine Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander? He's TNA now. He's not
But
TNA.
could you imagine
AEW
that
now.
match?
Yeah, but he's AEW now. So
That doesn't mean that Page is going to win.
I know it doesn't mean that Page is going to win, but
Or not
it
Page,
wouldn't be able to.
Alexander.
It wouldn't be able to be televised. But
That's what it is.
yeah, we had Ethan Page defending his North American Championship against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. This match was off the chain. Have I lost Matty?
Yes. No, you have not. I am back. This four-way, I didn't think Ethan was going to be as good in multi-man matches as he has been in WWE, NXT, but this match was incredible. Him being able to be the sly, sneaky heel and trying to just move out of the way and let other people take moves was incredible in this match.
It's what that match needed, you know. Ethan Page, um, Ethan Page can win the match in a sneaky way. I think Ricky Saints can't.
You need Ricky Saints to be not necessarily a dominant win, but a definitive win.
Yeah, and this sneaky pin on I think it was Laredo Kid. Perfect.
I think it was Laredo. I think it was Laredo Kid. I had to remember who ate the Ego's Edge.
No, it wasn't the Ego's Edge. It was a what is it? Twisted Grin.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was a Twisted Grin.
Yeah.
Who did he hit with? No, he hit Javon with the Ego's Edge, right?
Yeah. I think
The ending sequence of this match was just crazy.
I think Phoenix hit his finish and then got tossed out the ring. Or was it Phoenix or Javon that hit their finish and then on Laredo Kid?
I think Phoenix hit his finisher. Then uh, Ethan Page broke it up. If I'm not mistaken, Javon went up for his pop-up spring cutter, and Ethan moved out of the way. Phoenix got hit by that. Then it was Ego's Edge onto Javon. And then I think we had the Laredo Kid. I think I'm missing something in between there.
Honestly, that's a possibility. Oh, I'm trying to unlock a new angle.
Ooh. Seeing Suge
Hey,
from the other side.
I had to stand up right fast. My back was killing me.
Oh, dude, I completely understand it.
This might be the new angle. Might be
Standing
looking
up.
down at y'all. Might be looking down at y'all for a little while. No, but that match was dope. Right after that, we have possibly this was a WWE match of the year candidate for sure.
Oh, if we're talking about what I think we're talking about, Vikingo versus Gable was one of the best matches I've seen in the past calendar year.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't say the best. I said one of the best.
Yeah, definitely top 5. And it's not 5. It might be 3.
Chad Gable, you never cease to amaze us
So let me
with
put it to
your
you like
in-ring
this.
style.
What I saw for free on YouTube, the main event I saw for free on YouTube in LA was better than the main event I paid to see in LA for AEW.
And that's saying something.
And I saw this for free on YouTube at work.
Hey, Rainy?
I'm gonna rest my case with that one. But
No,
yeah, no,
and
this
if we need to bring up what that main event was,
it was Edge and John Moxley. Excuse me, Cope and John Moxley.
Cope and Moxley. And it wasn't even the match where Cope ate the fucking, or where Moxley ate the Janice suplex.
No, they did that on free TV.
God, I'm just remembering that match. That was horrible.
No, it wasn't the greatest. But I want to
But
move on from this to this weekend. Like we talked about it earlier, El Patron's getting his run back, getting his rematch. I don't think he's gonna win.
no, I think for this new deal, I think Vikingo is going to be champion for another long time. Last time he
Yeah,
held this belt was 866 days, was
I think so.
it?
You have Moose defending the X Division Championship versus Joe Hendry, uh, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., and El Macias.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judas Macias is reprising his role in 2025.
He's been everywhere, and I don't think he's ever stopped wrestling.
No, because he was also Mil Muertes in Lucha Underground
Yes, I saw him
and
wrestle.
many other places.
He was in He was on Wrestling Society X. For those of you who remember that show,
Fuck, he was. Good God. He really has been everywhere.
he was also Ricky Banderas in TNA.
Oh, no. Dude, I'm just trying to, like,
Or was that Wrestling Society
wait.
X? I
Oh,
don't.
hold on. Did you say Joe Hendry is in this match?
Joe Hendry is in this match.
So he went from World Championship to X Division title. do
I mean, he's still in the
you
title
think it's
picture,
do you think it's just for tickets or
probably,
just to get him on the show?
because this is still a high-profile show.
Yeah. They want to get their big stars on the show.
And then the Nimitz are also going to be on this card somewhere.
I think the Nemeths and the Hardys.
I don't know about the Hardys. I know the
I
Nimitz are
thought
going to be in the tag team match with the Los Garzas.
oh. Oh.
It's a four-way. I don't know if the Hardys are. I think they were supposed to be on there, but they had another booking.
Ah, okay.
Because I remember reporting it.
I remember seeing it.
But we can run through Money in the Bank real quick. That's why I said let's do AAA first, because Money in the Bank was 4 or 5 match card.
It was a 5 match card, but each match, filled its time right. I think it was a very fun show.
Except for the first one.
Don't even remember. No, the first match
The
was
Money
the
in the Bank.
women's Money in the Bank. I think this is the right winner, though.
So we definitely said it should either be Perez or Naomi. And if you think about it, Perez won on Monday night. So she's probably going to put over. She might either win or put over whoever's supposed to win. But I see her going all the way in the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Queen of the Ring.
but Naomi won, and both of our picks are doing incredibly well right now.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't
And
have gone wrong either way
so what are we building to? How long is she going to hold this briefcase?
until Jade Cargill wins the women's
Well,
championship.
I was thinking either Jade or Bianca. I think she's going to do it as soon as Bianca gets the belt.
Is Bianca going to SmackDown?
Is Bianca in the women's Queen of the Ring?
I'm not sure, but it's weird. Like that's the only in recent memory. This is the only couple I remember being on split shows. So maybe Bianca gets drafted to SmackDown.
Maybe.
I could see that.
Hi again.
But I'm not sure. I did send the brackets, didn't I? So why I be sending y'all stuff?
So that way you can see it.
Yeah, I either try to post about it on my Facebook. Cause if you're on Facebook, follow me at Suge Wildin on Facebook. They won't let me be great and claim Suge Wrestling.
They won't let me be great.
And this won't let me zoom in. Let's see. So Cargill is definitely in here, but I don't see I don't see Belair. It's
Let
Flair,
me.
Bliss, Green, Lorray, Oscar, Vakir, Rodriguez, Nile. We already had that match. Cargill,
They have
Michin,
them.
Niven, and Jax.
Okay, I was about to say they have them all as. So yeah, maybe. Oh
You
God,
gotta be Cargill.
Cargill wins Queen of the Ring. Cargill wins at SummerSlam. Naomi crashes out and wins.
Yes. I think that's where we're going. Because why would she cash in on EO?
She, I mean, she would just to get the title. Like at this point, I think it's all for gold.
I don't think
But,
that's what's gonna happen.
but it makes so much more sense for her to have a full blown crash out before cashing in.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. That's what's gonna happen. Like we're gonna extend this this rivalry. It's not over.
No, I don't think it's going to be over for a minute.
But yeah, this was my least favorite women's Money in the Bank match, and that's the one where, including the one where Ellsworth won.
Oof. Including the SmackDown one?
Yeah, including the one where Ellsworth won.
Was that the one on SmackDown? I thought that was the one on
They
SmackDown
had
was
to
the
they had to
fix.
redo it on SmackDown.
Yeah. Damn, you think it's that bad?
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
could
have
have
to
been
go
way
back
better.
and I'm gonna have to rewatch that match.
And it could have also been wrestling fatigue at that point because I had already watched AAA,
Good point. Good
and
point.
it was we had just said we had seen one of the matches of the year in WWE.
Yeah, we had just had all of our energy expended watching Gable versus Vikingo.
Because like I requested to work overtime, so Matty didn't fell out. I think it was a cat, but I requested to work overtime simply so I didn't have to leave and miss the main event. So I worked from like 10:30 to 10:30, so I could be locked in for wrestling all day. We didn't got Matty back.
I'm back.
Was it the cat?
Yeah, she hit the home button. Stop.
That's funny.
She keeps fucking with the phone.
But yeah, I was saying like I literally requested to work overtime so I could watch wrestling uninterrupted. So like I didn't have to drive to work in the middle of the Vikingo match, which to be quite honest, the pay-per-view finished up right as I was going to lunch. So it worked out perfectly.
Oh, perfect.
Came back, had an hour break. Had an hour break from wrestling, and I had to get back to wrestling. I had to get back to taking notes and shit. And so I caught up with the bros, and it's like, okay, we got locked back in for Money in the Bank. And then we had Octagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio at Money in the Bank. So again,
My main gripe is that this match didn't go longer. But
yeah, it could
Octagon
have.
did have a long ass match.
Yeah, he. This was his second match of the night.
But this was a good showing for Octagon. He can work the WWE style, which I didn't expect him to just slide right in.
He was incredibly professional, the most professional of wrestlers.
This was a fun match to me.
It was, we knew he wasn't going to win, but it was just cool to see AAA integrated so quickly as far as matches go, because Mr. Iguana's been on TV twice, been on NXT twice, so like we're integrated again slowly. I can't wait to see the first match where AAA talent has a show on TV, like NXT TV, Raw or SmackDown.
Oh, dude,
After
I think Mr. Iguana is going to pop up on NXT in the next couple of weeks, I think.
he should. Next match, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. And I do want to point this out before we move forward. LA, did the crowd look a little thin at the beginning? Yes. LA,
Yes.
we are fashionably late.
Hey, you guys wanted to show up for the big matches. And it took a long fucking time for you guys to get through traffic.
Fashionably late. If you know, they didn't widen the street much in Inglewood when they put all this stuff in there.
Hey, speaking of fashion, somebody needs to be new for making Lyra's gear. This is another wardrobe malfunction for her.
Oh no. That's not good.
No, and it's
Ain't this
you
number
know
3?
it's the top around her neck again. Like, yeah, someone new needs to make this poor girl's gear.
Dang. That's the first thing you
But
say about the match too. Because truth be told, I forgot about this match just like I forgot about this feud. And I saw the whole thing unfold. I ain't miss a day. I ain't miss a. But one thing I noticed, and this is even, I'll take it back to Vikingo versus Chad Gable. At first, you had dueling Chad Gable's chants in the match, but eventually, Vikingo was able to get the crowd on his side. That's one thing that unfortunately Lyra Valkyria has not been able to do in WWE, is really get the crowd on her side.
no, she's got them to do the little
Woo!
woo whenever she does her entrance. But other than that, no, and it's insane because she's such a damn good wrestler. But they
Honestly, her
just do not know
matches,
what her gimmick is.
exactly, her matches have been consistently some of my favorite matches on Raw since I started watching weekly again since they moved to Netflix. Like
She's making Becky Lynch work, god damn it.
consistently, she's been my favorite. Like, where does she go from here? Now that women that shouldn't be in the mid card are in the mid card. What do we do with Lyra? Do we send Lyra to AAA? Who's going to AAA? Who's staying with AAA? We haven't seen or heard a peep from Matt Riddle regarding AAA ever since.
Has he
ever
worked
since
AAA recently?
I think he's a champion in AAA right now.
Are you shitting me?
Uh, Hey, this might be my new vantage point.
The look
I like
down?
I like this standing stuff. I see why you do it.
No, see, I do it because I can't stand still.
Ah,
I have to be moving. I have to be doing something. So that's why I always be standing up. I Maven asked me if I owned a chair.
Maven.
But God, there's so many people in AAA that WWE is just probably looking at going,
Okay, never
"You
mind.
cut them."
Um, Maven. Excuse me, not Maven. Shout out to Maven though, because he's on my mind. But because you just said Maven, he lost the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship to Laredo Kid in December. But I knew he was a champion over there
Hold up, Matt Riddle is a cruiserweight? In what fucking weight class?
in AAA, I guess.
They got a broad term for cruiserweights. That man weighs like 225.
Yeah, I think what the old X division cutoff was, what, 250?
Old X Division cutoff, I don't think had one. It was no
Yeah, they
limits,
did.
remember?
No,
No weight
there
class,
was
no
there was
limits?
lim- there was limits because they had this whole thing where Bully Ray couldn't have an X division championship match because he was
No,
too
no, no,
big.
no. This was a tag team match, and I don't think it was an X Division tag team match. They might be. Oh, Suge's muted.
Hold on, yeah, my daughter was having
Oh,
a
you good, you good.
yeah, so it is 230 pounds.
Okay.
Uh, in 2012, the weight limit was temporarily lifted because Rob Van Dam wanted it 237, but it was reinstated in 2013, and that's why you had, you had people like Bubba Ray that were like stepping on the scale, like I can't do it. He went
Taking off wrist tape, taking off his shirt.
hilarious, but yeah, I can't wrestle in the X division either. Matty can, but I
I
for sure
can't.
can't.
Uh,
But yeah, this
so
match was okay. You had Lyra get her little fire back by attacking Becky at the show at the end of the match, and that might be like the most she's connected with the crowd because everybody was like, "No, don't do it."
yeah, it was a really good moment for her to turn on Becky like that, or not turn, but give Becky her comeuppance.
Yeah, get her lick back.
Uh, Men's Money in the Bank, however, this match was
Oh,
crazy.
narrative filled. We finally got the "I hate you" solo.
After after he had already fucked up Big Bronson Reed with one of the craziest pop up fucking Samoan drops I've
Oh
ever
yeah,
seen.
y'all are finally getting to see the monster that is Jacob Fatu.
The monster that is Jacob Fatu. Did you see how high Bronson jumped?
Yes, yes, I did. They're both athletic big men, so I can't wait. I need that Fatu Bronson Mateo 3-way immediately.
Meat.
I might buy the next 2K just for that, or this 2K just for that.
Yeah, the end of this match, overbooked. Very overbooked. The match itself was incredibly fun. I feel like all
Teasing,
men got to shine.
teasing Andrade and Pence at the top of the ladder in Los Angeles is sick work.
Oh yeah,
Sick work. Just to have Kobe Lopez go over.
Colby Lopez.
No rela-
Hey,
no relation.
Hey, second Money in the Bank win for Seth. It's perfect for him to carry it right now with all of the muscle around him.
Can I say really quickly that I would love for Roman Reigns to come back and beat John Cena just for Seth Rollins to cash in on him again?
See, how many dates does Cena have?
18.
He's not making it to Mania. So I had joked that Seth's gonna hold on till Mania and cash in during the main event again.
But he's not. Cena's not going to make it to Mania, so he'd be cashing in for the new belt. Survivor
Yeah,
Series got to be it.
I mean SummerSlam, Survivor Series, maybe the Rumble.
He's not going to be there for the Rumble.
Is his final date gonna take place on like Christmas or something?
Something like that. But he's not going in. He's not wrestling in 26. And these are his words.
It's gonna be interesting. I wonder when he's gonna take the time to cash in. I would have liked to see him cash in at the end of this next match.
Yeah, no, that wasn't his moment. But narrative wise, Seth was the person to go with. Even if, let's say, CM Punk wins in Saudi Arabia and
All
Seth
right.
cashes in immediately, there's different ways you can go. But I feel like Seth should leave the World Heavyweight Championship scene alone and focus on being the company champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Last real champion. The
Because
hell do you mean, John? Yeah, I can see Seth Rollins going in like that. Uh-oh. Suge froze. I don't like that. Or did I freeze?
Oh,
Did I freeze or did you freeze?
I don't know. Shout out to all 29 of y'all that are still here with us, rocking with us. But I feel like um, Seth Rollins needs to move forward from the World Heavyweight Championship scene and let that be for Gunther and whoever's coming up next. Put him in the WWE Championship scene immediately. And you can do that
Hmm.
by even if it's not Roman that he cashes in on. Have him cash in on CM Punk.
That would also work for him. See, Seth Rollins is also a vindictive ex.
That's just what I want to see focused on, that portion. That portion of the character, because we know it exists.
He is a very vindictive ex, and he is going to get what he wants. So this is going to be interesting to see. Both Seth and Naomi have wide open windows to cash in at the most opportune time, and I love the fact that it's on two very different heels.
Yeah. Hey, but real quick, I want to do a fast track through some other news that happened this week so we can talk about what should have been probably its own episode, but I'm so glad we held off on making any strong statements on our truth until this week. Um, so I want to say this. It seems like a positive result of Trick Williams being the TNA World Champion is that Steve Macklin and the International Championship or the International title over in TNA is becoming the company's championship.
So Macklin's carrying that shit on his back.
Macklin is carrying the company on his back right now. It's being reported that WWE are interested in Mike Santana.
I don't see why not.
which
Santana is and has been a very valuable asset for a long time.
I do want to question the fact that um, it doesn't seem like, unless TNA is just going to pick up everybody WWE fires, I don't see how this deal is being any good for TNA if they're just going to sign all their people.
And win their belts.
Yeah, I mean this is different. Speaking of winning belts, the Inspiration is back, the former Iconics, so they're back in TNA.
Very good for both of them. I mean, they have not been in wrestling in what, 2 years?
Yep. WWE is seemingly interested in Mr. Iguana. They have already added Mr. Iguana merch to the WWE website. WrestleMania is confirmed for Las Vegas, as many of y'all know, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. I don't want to spend too much time on that. And Brock Recksteiner, son of Scott Steiner, Jacob Henry, son of Mark Henry, and TJ Bullard, son of Titus O'Neil, have all signed with WWE in their next NIL class.
So that's some big time names. I mean, Titus O'Neil, we know is a physical specimen. If
Yeah.
TJ can build at all like his dad did, he's going to look like a fucking monster.
And especially him starting early. Because
Oh, go ahead.
Titus O'Neil, I want to say he signed pretty late.
Yeah, I think he was probably already in his 30s whenever he signed, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was one of Batista's friends, and Batista notably also signed with WWE later in his life.
It's interesting, especially to see, such young names as well, because Brock Recksteiner, son of Scott Steiner, cousin of,
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. We got to get a Steiner Bros. I know they're not, brothers, but we could get a Breaker Bros or some shit like that with those two. And then for Jacob Henry, who we've already seen is a monster power lifter.
That clearly runs in the family.
Yeah. Jacob Henry is going to be throwing some of your favorite NXT guys around in a couple of years.
And then this is just, and remember, these aren't these are people fresh out of college, fresh off their college career. So if they're popular, if they're influential, they'll be here for a long time.
Yeah, two of those three names probably already have a lot of wrestling experience. I mean, Jacob Henry has wrestled, right?
Not sure, but I'm pretty sure the Steiner's kid did.
Mm. And he played football too, just like Braun Breaker did. Like this WWE NIL, it's crazy because some of these people are coming in so young and have so much time to develop. They just need time to develop.
And it's starting to pay off. Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Hank and Tank, Obafemi.
Was Braun part of the NIL deal or no?
Braun was NIL. So this is the turnaround on Braun Breaker was 5 years.
And dude, I can guarantee you he's going to hold a world title in like 2 years.
Leave when this whole group breaks up. Leave
He's
him
taking
on.
the belt off of Seth.
Have him take it off Gunther.
See, I think him winning the Rumble might still be a possibility this year.
I want Brunson Reed to take the belt off Seth.
See, that was a really fun little story that they had. Last year?
And they can go right back to it. It can pick right back up where he left off.
But I still maybe see Braun Breaker winning the men's rumble this year
I see
because
that too.
we still have 6 months.
Hey, but we got this last little news bit that I'm gonna have to weave in and out a little bit. So y'all gonna have to walk with me real quick.
Oh, I don't know about weaving.
Oh, we gonna weave several points into one point. Oh, I hope Ice ain't over here. No, because I hear the ghetto bird. I hope Ice ain't over here. Because they were in the neighborhood yesterday.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. I don't have words right now. About what's going on in LA because it so far was in LA. It hasn't came to Long Beach yet. But when I have words, I'll have words. But right now I need to focus on this so I can get ready for work. Not gonna lie to you. We're already almost an hour and 30 in.
We knew we were going to go long.
Yeah, because I was supposed to have I wanted to record and stream Saturday with all the big news, but again, I'm glad I didn't. Just because so much had happened in the past couple weeks. So it's being reported that WWE is $3 billion in debt.
Billion. Now, what was it? WWE or was it TKO as a whole?
TKO WWE somehow, I'm not sure, but somehow in this business, we are $3 billion in debt.
We are so broke.
And so and that would explain why WWE did things like cut people who they didn't see futures in their contracts, i.e. Carlito and Valhalla and form R-Truth even.
Do you think that might have something to do with them not being in New Orleans this year's or upcoming Mania as well?
I do because um TKO is registered in Nevada, so they don't have to pay any out-of-state taxes for that event. And I don't think Nevada tax laws are real lenient. I'm not sure how they are for businesses, but if you get tax breaks for having events in Nevada and you need money,
And I mean, who knows if they don't have a good deal with like, man, I really, really don't like a prospect where they're going to be in Vegas for WrestleMania like every 3 years, 4 years.
it'll be like the Olympics. Every 4 years we have a Vegas Mania. If that's what they need to do to get out the hole, I don't blame them because you got to find ways to cut costs somewhere.
And
And if I
and
don't have to
Vegas
pay a bunch
is
of if I don't have to pay a bunch of state, in-state and out-of-state tax, then I'll do that. But that also explains the sky-high ticket prices for WWE events. Now check this out. I'm on TikTok the other day, right?
okay.
I want to get this content creator's name right. Shout out to Ted the Toy Collector on TikTok. He's in Houston. He's talking about he's trying to see how much regular Raw prices are going to be like in Houston. He said for nosebleeds, it's $120 for nosebleeds in WWE. Versus $78 for AEW in Houston, in Texas, all in, versus $78 for pay-per-view. I can confirm this because I think I only had like $120 to spare, $110 to spare. I was able to get 2 seats in Staples Center for about 50 a pop for Revolution.
Really, it's that cheap, huh?
Yeah. Again, nosebleed seats. I paid $110 out the door.
Tony, please don't get any ideas.
And then so he then compared floor seats for WWE Raw versus AEW All In, basically their WrestleMania. $1,000 for floor seats in WWE, where he got a floor seat ticket for All in Houston for $458.
$458 for a floor seat is incredible.
I could, if I didn't, if listen, if I didn't have the family responsibilities I had, and I could spend money, I could drop money on a stuff
Floor,
like that.
you're gonna be floor seat for All In.
Yeah, I could do that. I could swing that. I could justify that in my head.
I could justify it. Could you justify the travel from Long Beach all the way to fucking Arlington?
No, like if I lived in the area, like let's say I could probably justify I could have justified a single ticket floor seat for Revolution, but I had other responsibilities I wanted. I could have justified in my head if I had a somewhere where I was playing weekly like I do now, I probably could have got away with that. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
no, ticket prices are fucking crazy. I mean, unless your sports team sucks, I think I can get tickets to a Rockies game for $8 flat.
ooh, I miss some days. We used to be able to get like $10 Clippers tickets, so you'd be in the back, but
I mean, the Angels suck. You might be able to go to an Angels game.
they kind of racist out there.
You know what? Valid, understandable.
But so part of everybody was people were believing that the reason our truth was cut was because of um contract issues, money issues. And we had a Jonathan Coachman rumor saying that Triple H is in jeopardy of losing his job within 18 months and there's possibly beef between him and The Rock. And so all
Yeah,
this is
I
happening.
can see those egos not coexisting.
Yeah, me too. But all this is happening. Um our truth gets released. Everyone is in is an uproar about that. People are making TikTok think pieces, which a lot of these were great. While in real time, WWE was trying to get in contact with Ron, and he wasn't answering the phone. Apparently, none of this was a work, and Nick Khan had to call him personally to get him back. And he comes back and attacks John Cena, and now he's serious.
I'm excited.
We also have
I
Triple H saying, "What is real anymore? Are you enjoying the show?" Do we think that any of this is a show? Like,
there's a part of me that just wants to believe in kayfabe and wants to believe that this whole thing is a work.
part of
But
me. Oh, you got it.
I was just about to say, like, with his son tweeting out "Stop the Cap" under Triple H's post. I, I still don't believe that it's not a work, because I think R-Truth's kid is smart enough to know what a work is.
Oh, for sure. And people were saying there's this video clip of him going around saying that JR and somebody else told him that wrestling is still a white man's game. I don't know when, but I don't know if it's when probably when he saw him the first time. I think it was JR and Bruce Pritchard. Pritchard, it sounds about right. But right after those videos surfaced, they let him go. And people were looking at WWE a little strange initially. Um, and then we mattered. We brought our truth back. We didn't matter enough to bring WrestleMania back to New Orleans,
Rollins.
but we mattered enough to bring our truth back. And he cut his hair on TV, and he's signifying something. I said all that to say that you got to be careful in this business and what you put out. And sometimes I'll be like, dang, we left this out of the episode. I feel bad because I wanted to talk about it. But then, like almost every time that happens, something happens right after that. And not gonna lie to you, it saved us a whole lot of backtracking.
Honestly,
That's why I'm sitting here saying I'm glad we didn't run what we did last week. I think the question now is where does our truth go from here? Where does Cena go from here?
where do we go from here?
Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z? I think that was it. Shout out to all 30 of y'all who made it to the end of the episode. Yeah. Let me check my
Yeah.
Facebook. Let me check my Facebook real quick. I'm trying to be thorough, I've been trying to put more and more effort and time into the shows so it doesn't just seem like we're sitting up here
I mean, we just went through an hour and a half. I think we did pretty damn good for ourselves today.
rambling. Oh, in Blake Monroe, Mariah May finally
Oh,
made her debut.
okay.
It wasn't Matilda Misfire.
Mini rant. I don't care how many of y'all think Blake Lively looks great. Blake ain't a female name.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think Blake is a unisex name. It's one of them new unisex names. It's going to take time.
It just don't. It don't work for me.
I wouldn't, but I can understand people who do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Still looking forward to seeing what she's gonna do.
Hell yeah! But real quick before we go, how was Maven last week?
It was such a cool show. Honestly, if you go back and watch it, he is incredibly down to earth. And again, he asked me if I own a chair. Yes, I do own a chair. I just don't like sitting down during the shows.
I understand that completely. I got to go back and watch it. They had me actually working at work last week, so it completely slipped my mind. But
And then
as
the Greg
always,
Cherry show tonight.
hell yeah! As always, shout out to Greg Cherry and the Greg Cherry Show. That's all we got for this week. Thank all 30 y'all for rocking with us. Please like, share, subscribe, follow West Coast Graps. We will be doing more streams, even over on my personal account as well as that account. But tap in with us. We got more content coming out soon. Again, as always, thank you to my co-host Matty Laws. Thank all the fam for watching, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.